I would like to start with a story that I think really touches at the heart of what Purim is all about. When we think about, Jewish history, sometimes it's hard to really relate and see how the Purim story itself and what was going on then really relates to me in my life today. So I'd like to take a modern example of what I think is consistent with really the theme of Purim. So there was this Israeli ambassador or diplomat traveling in America. He was in Manhattan, and as he's walking around in Manhattan, he noticed a fight breaking out. And as he takes a closer look, he sees that there's actually mismatched. There's a number of people fighting one person. It was obvious from his perspective that one of the people looked like he might have been Jewish, and there was a few guys fighting against him. And what was odd is that each one of those guys by themselves seemingly could have beat up the Jewish guy. So you had three people really attacking this person. So he decided, this is not right. I'm going to jump in and do something about it. Now, what's good about being an Israeli diplomat is it usually comes with military training, because everyone in Israel goes through the army. So he was probably able to take care of himself, and it seems so from the way the story ends, is once he jumped in, he was able to help the man, and the fight ended. So after the fight, he turns to the man and says, okay, I fought, I helped, I'm invested now. Tell me what this was all about. So the man looks at him and says, I'll tell you the truth. They insulted me and called me some names and they said I'm Jewish, and I got very, very angry, and I just had to fight back. So the Israeli's like, that's interesting. I happen to be Israeli. Let me ask you a question. What exactly made you fight back? Why did you fight back? Why didn't you, you were outnumbered. They were stronger than you. Why didn't you just, walk on your way? So he said, I'm proud to be a Jew. And, I felt that if I have to fight back. You have to stand up for what you believe in, what you're proud of. And I had to, as a Jew, stand up against him, no matter, even if it meant getting beat up. So the diplomat continued and asked, well, let me ask you something. What exactly are you so proud of being Jewish? What are you proud about being as a Jew? So the man began to think to himself. He started to try to talk in stammering and mumbling. And in the end, he couldn't really express clearly any one thing about being Jewish that he was proud of. And ultimately, it came out that he didn't know. And I think this story is a powerful story, and its message is very important for us to understand. Why did he fight back? And why couldn't he express why he felt like fighting back? So I think if we appreciate, a Jew goes through many different phases in life, and at the same time over the history of the Jewish people. When you take a modern Jewish person living in New York, successful, very, very secular-minded, secularly educated, he might not practice the religion at all. He might not have any connection with the customs of his father or grandfather. But sometimes, and again, this is not always, sometimes there's some type of feeling inside that he knows that he's a Jew and he knows that he's different. Where that feeling comes from, we would say, is the neshama, the soul. Since his soul, deep down inside his which is really his essence, identifies with his Jewishness, so no matter how secular he is, and no matter that he doesn't have any of the customs of his ancestors, when he's pushed against the wall, so to speak, so that inner essence fights back. And his Jewishness had to come out and had to fight, because the Jewishness within us never dies. That part of us never dies. That's why we are, in fact, called the eternal people. We might fall. It might look like we've died out, but we always come back. We come back strong, and even stronger than we were before. Not too long ago in American history, well, in Jewish history, it looked like we were going to be down for the count. The Nazis really tried to uproot us and destroy us, or at least harm us in a way that we may have never been able to recover. And it's miraculous in that in such a short period of time, Judaism and the Jewish people are flourishing and reached levels that we haven't seen for ages. Judaism and the study of Torah hasn't been stronger than it is today for so long. So when it looked like almost 50 years ago we were out for the count and we would never be able to recover, we've recovered in a way that nothing will ever stop us. We're on this last lap to the finish line, and we're as strong as we've ever imagined, as strong as we've ever been. And that's the Jewish story, and that's the story of Purim.